Hey everyone, and welcome back once again to IG8Live Esports, and we're live right now with a stream for FSL Esports Tier 1 here on Mondays. It's for the French Grand Prix, getting ready with round 10. So I think we're on with our full qualifying session. We got about 18 drivers on the grid, which is I think a pretty good number to work with, just too short of a full grid right about now. So I think we're going pretty well. Let me just have a look and see what's happening on track. We think we got already a few drivers are getting out on the track already, so I think they're trying to get those lap times in pretty much as early as they can right about now, just to avoid the invalidated laps and just to make sure they can get a lap time that's actually sufficient to get them over into qualifying 2 at this one, which is basically just going to be their main aim, getting around here. So let's get a few stats up on screen. I think we'll probably leave telemetry off for now, and I think we know most of these guys are going to be on the soft tires. We might have a few drivers that are going to be testing out the mediums just to see what they actually can do on track here. So in the meanwhile, we're getting started, and we'll have a look at the grid lineup in just a bit. But for now, I think let's just have a look and see how many drivers we actually have out on track, which is quite a few already. So I think they're just in a bit of a hurry, probably getting out. Just want to make sure that they get a lap time in. Just never know what can actually happen in a qualifying session. Usually we see a lot of drivers get up very, very early, depending on what the weather conditions are going to be like, which I'm not sure of as yet. We'll probably have a bit more information on that later on through the qualifying session to see if we're going to be having a dry race or not. So let's see how that's gonna go either way. Yeah, so definitely quite a few drivers out. I think I'm familiar with quite a few of these names here as well. We can see a few of these guys still about to get started laps. A few drivers on their hot laps here right about now and getting going here. So we're gonna see what the lap times are gonna be looking like by the end of the next few minutes, I would say. And let's see how our lineup of drivers are gonna be in terms of how close these lap times will get and how competitive we'll be getting on the grid will give us a bit of an indication of what our race start might be looking like here. Of course, talking about that race start, it's really not an overly long run getting down into turn 1, so it's going to be a bit interesting as well to see how drivers handle that. And it's quite a sharp left-hander getting into turn 1 and then getting to the second turn, but we'll see how well it goes. We might be expecting a safety car on our opening lap, or maybe just a VSC. Just depends on how well the race start itself goes here, but I think it might actually go pretty well. So I see some pretty good drivers in here. I've seen a lot of these guys drive before, so we'll see what's going to happen in that case. But at the moment, still here with qualifying 1, and I think we just got our first lap time in by Shankly there, 1:34.0. I think we might be expecting some faster times, and there we go. So we got more lap times starting to come in right about now. Patterson goes 1:40.3, goes down to 5th with that. We got Justy there in 3rd now, 1:31.3. Now down to 4th. Taylor High goes 3rd, 1:30.7. We got Martin 2nd, 1:30.6. And Don Vista now goes fastest in the session at 1:29.7. I think that's holding up pretty well, at least for now. But we still, I think we might expect some faster lap times as we get further on in the qualifying session. But let's just keep the focus on qualifying 1 for now. We got 30 minutes left out of the 18 total they had to deal with here, which is still a lot of time for these drivers to get some better times in, and we do expect to see some better times in here. We got Peter in the racing point. I think he's still on his hot lap getting around the final sector here right about now. So let's see when he goes across the line what that lap time is going to look like. We do have cameos there as well. Ace on a hot lap as well. I think someone else just went into that grid. And Liam now goes fastest at 1:29.4, 3/10 faster than what Don Vista had. Aiden down to 3rd right now with his lap time at 1:30.4. So far looking pretty good. Gary now up to 3rd, pushes the entire grid down, 1:30.2. Peter goes up 7th, 1:30.9. So looking better and better as we get along here. Let's have a look where Ace is right about now. So still in, I'm trying to see, in sector 2 here at the moment going on through. Let's see if we can actually put that Mercedes into the top 5 here right about now. Bit of controversy going on our chat on the Twitch stream at the moment about what's going to happen with him and this race here. I haven't had a look on the YouTube side of it yet, but let me just get the multi-stream chat up so I can have a look at what's going on. And welcome to everyone who is joining us on either from Twitch or YouTube, which I know most of our viewers are currently on. So welcome to all of you guys on there. If anyone is watching on Facebook, welcome to you there as well. Guys, please do make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and do follow us on Twitch and Facebook as well, if you can. I know most of you guys would be on Twitch and YouTube on that side of things, but if possible, do make sure you guys follow us on all social medias there. It does help us out a lot. And this is officially our first stream here with FSL Esports, so gonna be quite interesting to see what the race is gonna be like. I was supposed to stream for this league quite a while back, didn't get a chance to, but a few things came up. But let's see what's gonna happen in this race. Down to 11 minutes left here in qualifying 1, and yep, we're still looking pretty good so far. Ace goes P5, exactly where I thought he might go, 130.2. Let's see if he's able to improve that time before the end of the session. Scooby here on a hot lap at the moment. So is Jonathan there and Ice01. Do expect to see some interesting lap times coming up from them. But yeah, Liam still holds on to the fastest time here in Q1 with a 129.4. And that lap time seems to be holding up pretty well. I did expect we might get a faster one than that. But at the moment, I think it's holding pretty well around that 129.4. So let's see how well that holds up. We might expect a few more 129s maybe getting into the later on portions of the qualifying session. We'll see what's going to happen with that. As I said, I expect most of the drivers are currently running on the soft tires here. Some of them might just test out the mediums, see what it runs like on track, or even the hards, just depending on what their race strategy plans are going to be getting into qualifying 2 in just another 10 minutes time or so. So we'll see what's going to happen in that case. But so far so good here. I think we're still following on with Scooby here, trying to have him finish off this current lap in the Ferrari, which he is about to do in just a pit here. So let's see what the lap time is going to look like as he gets around the final turn, back onto the pit straight and goes across the line. And let's see where he goes with his lap time right about now. Goes P10 only with that, a 130.8. Might not do as well as expected, but let's see where Jonathan is. I think he's about to get across the line here as well. Does go fastest in the session of a 128.5. Almost just over a second faster than what Liam did. And now we're starting to get into some really good lap times, going on to 128 and better if we can here. We'll probably get some of those going into qualifying 3 a little more faster. We'll see what's going to happen, but a pretty interesting qualifying time. I don't think anyone's going to be beating that anytime soon, or maybe later on in this session. We'll see, but that definitely should hold up pretty well of getting him over to qualifying 2 at this point. We're on with Ice 1 right now. We got Super Stu down and a back of the grid there as well, trying to get a lap time in. Down there in Sector 2. And looks like Ice 1 has invalidated his lap, which does tend to happen quite a bit, just depending on the track. But we're gonna leave that be for now. So getting back to Super Stu here, let's see where he is in the Red Bull. Currently with no lap time on the grid. I think we got 13 drivers with their lap times in so far. We range from a 128.5 to a 134.0. So we do need a few drivers to try and get some faster lap times in if they can. I think Shankly will try to improve that 134 if possible here. We got 18 drivers on the grid. This usually goes with 20 drivers on the grid and only 15 going over to qualifying 2. So waiting to see what that number is going to look like by the time we get off to the end of the session. But yep, definitely want to be in the top 13-12 drivers at least on the grid during the qualifying 1 session, just not taking the chance of getting knocked off to get over into qualifying 2. So we'll see how much drivers are going to be pushing for that. But at the moment, let's see, we got Super C goes up 130.1 into 5th with that. Does push a few drivers down, so still 4 more drivers are yet left to get some lap times in. See if anyone's going to be improving the time. I think Shankly just started another hot lap here. So definitely he's definitely on point of getting a faster lap if possible here. So let's see how that's going to work. Ice 1 still out on track, possibly getting another lap going or getting back into the pits and then getting back out. We got Dunster there getting out on track right now on his out lap. So just a bit more before we can see a lap time coming off of him. Hopefully he's able to get a better time in. We got Kieran Barr and Lucky. They're still in the pits, so they're probably going to be getting out maybe a little bit later down to the end of the session. Of course, we got just under 7 minutes left now, probably waiting maybe about 4 minutes left before they actually decide to get on out on track. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. Also, I see we did get a few new followers on Twitch there today, so thanks to you guys for the ones who did follow us there today and who've been following us for the past while here as well. Oh yeah, we did have race 2017. We got Jonathan and William Gaming 100 followed within the last few hours. And got Dom the Vista there, just followed us on Twitch as well, so do appreciate him just joining on. Thank you very much for that. I think we're probably up to 46 or maybe 47 followers on Twitch right about now. We're gonna try and grow that as much as we can, getting past that 50. No rush on it, but let's see what's gonna happen. Haven't streamed quite a bit for the past week or 2 weeks maybe, I'm not even sure. But yep, thanks to all of you joining us on Twitch. Thanks to everyone who's joining on YouTube and Facebook there as well. Because I'm trying to check them individually, see what's going on in terms of viewership so far. But yep, definitely looking good. Thanks to all of you guys joining on the session and to watch the race live here with us. And I know most of the drivers will be watching the race afterwards after they actually finish, because I know some drivers don't usually watch and drive at the same time. Alright, so let's have a look. Alright, going back to Dancer here, let's see where he's on track. I think he invalidated a lap here, so definitely we'll have to try again. But starting to run out of time just a bit. We got Kieran, Ice One, and Lucky out on track. So definitely trying to get some lap times in. I guess Jonathan took away the fastest lap time up there. And he's held on to that at least for now. And we got Cammy there, followed us on Twitch as well. Thank you very much for that. Do appreciate that. So we gained quite a few followers on Twitch for today at least. I think our viewership on Twitch is getting a bit better than that on YouTube and during the live streams. We'll see what's going to happen with that situation. But either way, do appreciate it. And just getting back to the multi-stream chat right about now, see what's going on. Alright, so got 4 drivers still yet to get lap times in. I think Lucky just began his hot lap here right now, so let's see what's happening with that, because I know one driver had invalidated there. They're going to try it again. They have enough time to get this done. I see one driver has retired off of the session or probably crashed out. Either way, in 5th there is where Super Steve the Red Bull is, so I think he's probably fine. His teammate, I think Dom Vista there, up in P3, 129.7 in the pits. I don't think he's going to be getting back out. That lap time is going to hold up pretty well to finish off this qualifying session. I think Kieran is on a lap here as well. Invalidated that current one. We'll have to try it again, unfortunately. You'll see what's going to happen. Back to the McLaren of Lucky here at the moment. See where this lap is going to take him. He's currently getting to sector 3. That was a purple sector 2, so he seems to be on for a pretty good lap. Hopefully he's able to finish a lap and possibly get it maybe to the top 10. That would be pretty good to see him get there on this final portion of qualifying 1. But yep, so far so good with this. Alright, so he gets across the line and goes P4, 129.5, so really not a bad time. I'm going to go back down to the rest of our drivers who are currently left on track here. We know Kieran has to get another lap started. Dunsa on another out lap right now in the Ferrari. He's going to try and get that going. We're back on with Ice 1. Down in 18th on the grid at the moment. No lap time in. And Shankly has not been able to improve his lap time. Still down there in 15th right about now. And we're about to get to the end here of oh, thanks to our new subscriber. There's someone else just subscribed to YouTube there as well. Do appreciate that. I didn't get to see the name of it because I kind of minimized that part of it there. But thanks for that. And yeah, we're still on. Oh, there we go. So IS1 gets a 130.0, puts him up to P7, and that's going to hold up pretty well, at least for qualifying 1. Take him straight on through to qualifying 2 there. Back on with Kieran Barr here, still trying to prevent himself from getting eliminated from Q2. And right now, in that zone, but I think this might be his final attempt at it. He might just have one more lap after getting across the line here to try this if possible. Yeah, most of the judges will now start to retire off the session. I think they're quite happy with that time. Alright, so we're waiting to see what's going to happen with this. Dunson is still on an out lap. He needs to get a hot lap started before that timer runs out in order to actually get to finish that final hot lap and possibly get a lap time in, and hopefully it's a good one. Shankly, I think, is still out on track trying to improve that time. Aiden out right now, 130.4 puts him in 15th at the moment. Shankly down to 16th. He's going to be out of qualifying 2. And Kieran gets a timing, but it's a 123.2, not well enough to put him over into the top 15. Dancer there in the Ferrari on his final attempt at this here for a lap. And if he does invalidate this lap, then that's definitely going to be it for him for the session. 30 seconds left here in Q1. And we're going with that. Jonathan there, fastest in the session so far, 128.5. Quite an incredible lap from him. Hela Hyder went second fastest at 129.0. Liam third fastest at 129.4. And Lucky there fourth fastest, 129.5. Quite a few 129s as we did expect actually. Don Vista P5, 129.7. Patterson went 6th at 129.8 there as well. I'm quite sure he's streaming his side of this race there as well. And then we go with the 130s going all the way down to P15 with Aiden there. So very impressive in the lap time so far. I think someone has just got a better lap time in. Let's get on board actually with Dancer here, see if he's able to finish his lap. The timer is definitely out now here for qualifying 1, and this is going to be it as after Dancer gets across the line. A few more drivers possibly still running. Let's see what this lap time is looking like, and he goes up to P4, 129.5, puts him over to qualifying 2 with that lap time, and got a bit of a lucky break on that one as well, but just getting it in the final lap. It could have been an invalidated lap, which would have cost him getting into Q2. But definitely actually did do it, so good job on him for getting that done. So top 15 goes down to Aiden Bell there for 130.4. 131 there in 16th with Justy. I don't think he's going to make it into Q2. Neither will Kieran Barr or Shankly there. So we'll see what happens in that case. But I highly doubt they're making it on over. There's a few drivers left running here on track right now. They're waiting for that to be over with before getting over to qualifying 2 at this point. I don't know if Cammy's trying to celebrate on track right now, or I don't think he's just trying to get back going. But P9 for him, did make it over to Q2 there as well, so far not too bad with the qualifying times. So we see a lot of 129s and a lot of 130s, so I think it's going to be an extremely interesting race start. Once we get around to that point, we'll see what's going to happen. But definitely interested to see what this race start is going to be like once we get on over to that there. Okay, so I think that's officially the end of qualifying 1 here with FSL Esports Tier 1 right now. We're waiting for the results to just come on screen, so we can just have a quick look at that before heading over into qualifying 2, and then this will get a bit more interesting in that one, so we'll see what's going to happen from that point onwards. Okay, so having a quick look at the results here for qualifying one, we do have Jonathan fastest lap in that session at 128.5. We got Hella Highway in second, Liam into third, and we got Dunster there fourth, Lucky in fifth, Dom Vista sixth, we got Patterson down to seventh, we got Super C in eighth, Cammy went ninth, we got Ace down in 10th, Peter 11th, we got Martin 12th, and Scooby there 13th. And it seems like we only have that 13 drivers making it on over into qualifying 2, which is what we were a bit worried about. So it looks like Ice One, Aiden, Josie, Kieran, and Shankly, they will be starting right in the positions where they're currently at 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18th, as they're not able to make it over into Q2, which we're heading into right about now. So let's see how that is going to go over there. Of course, when we're qualifying 2, they're going to be a bit focused on race strategy in terms of tires, because whatever tires they do set the fastest laps on, they will have to start the race in, provided it's their try race start, of course. So we'll see how well they manage with that and what sort of strategies these guys are actually aiming towards at this point here. So 13 drivers in for qualifying 2. It's only going to be the top 10 heading over to qualifying 3. So let's see how well that's going to go. I think we're just going to get lap data back online so we can have a look at that. And tires, we're going to keep that unfitted for now and see where we're going with this. I think we got a few guys getting out on track already there. Looks like we got both Mercedes getting out very early on in the session. Of course, just 15 minutes here for qualifying 2, so I don't think drivers are definitely going to be wasting time with this. They're going to get out on track as early as possible, trying to get those lap times in. So we'll see where we're going with that now. Currently we're following on with Marts here, so quite a few drivers on their outlaps as we get the qualifying 2 session on the way at the moment. But let's see what our lap times are going to look like. We had the fastest, I think it was a 129, 128.4 was it, there for qualifying 1. Let's see what's going to happen in this case. And looks like Cammy did fill in. He's actually from tier 2 here at FSL Esports, so filling in and doing pretty well. Made it on over into qualifying 2. Let's see if he makes it over to qualifying 3. Does need to make it into the top 10 for that one there. Hopefully for him should not be any trouble. But let's see what's going to happen in that case here. So we're just going to follow on with a few drivers during their hot laps here. We got Patterson on a hot lap already, as is Dom the Vista there. Having a look at Patterson right now in the Haas here. Let's see what his lap time is going to look like in this qualifying session. Hopefully he gets a good one, makes it on over to Q3 if he can, and avoids invalidating a lap here right about now. See what's going to happen, because I think drivers are going to be under a little bit more pressure in terms of getting some interesting lap times in. Very long straight here. Always gets pretty exciting with the straight line speed there as well. Yep, definitely most of our drivers are out on track right about now. I think we got just 4 of the 13 drivers only into the pits still at the moment. As Lucky is already getting out on his, he's already out on his out lap actually. So I think in just a bit, looks like Patterson might be the first car to set a lap time here, because he's getting to the final portions of Sector 3 right about now, about to get across the line in just a bit. So let's see what's going to happen. He's getting around the final turn back onto that pit straight. and should be straight on through, and we should see our first lap time here for qualifying 2. He's doing this on the medium, so let's see what the lap times are going to look like. That's a 1:30.1 on the mediums as well, so not too bad with that. I think we got a Red Bull coming on through. Might be down Vista here as he gets across the line, goes second fastest at 1:31.2, about a second slower than what Patterson just did. On the mediums as well, not too bad so far. I'm trying to have a look who else we got coming through. Might be Peter there in a Racing Point. And let's see where he goes across the line with a 1:32.4. So we're a bit off in terms of lap time so far. We got Marta 1:36. Not the best of time there. Let's see where his teammate is going to go as when he does get across. Hella High goes 1:29.3 on the softs. We're going to see quite a mix of strategies here. A few drivers are on the softs, as is Ace here, but slowing down on an invalidated lap there right now. Not having the best of luck. So let's switch this on over to someone else who's on a hot lap. I think we got the McLaren of luck here about to get across. He should be getting an interesting time. Maybe let's have a look. Or we're on the 1:27, 1:28, so already with him. And he goes across the line with a 1:30.8. I think it'll hold off pretty well for now. At least he's going to have to try and get something better on if he can there. Let's have a look and see what's happening. Liam here on a hot lap right about now. Just got started with that as well. Probably keep on board with him and have a look as he gets through this lap here in the AlphaTauri. Alright, so far so good with the lap times that we're seeing, but I think we're going to expect qualifying 3 to get a bit more competitive than this here right about now, because we can see we only got 1:1:29, we got a few 1:30s, 1:31s, we got a 1:32. It's going to be a bit spaced out just because of some of these drivers using mediums, some using the softs. We'll see what's going to happen. Looks like most of them are aiming to use the mediums right now. We might see a few of those drivers transition over to the soft tires before the end of the qualifying session, just to make sure they make it on over into Q3, of course. Liam here on the mediums. Let's see where he goes as he is about to get across the line just in a few seconds time. So back onto that straight, and let's see where he goes. Got a yellow flag situation down there in sector 3 for someone. And go start fastest at 1:30.0. That'll hold up pretty well, at least for now. We still got a few more drivers to get some time in. Let's switch this on over to Jonathan down in the back here. I think he's in sector 2 right now, about to get to sector 3. Okay, so down to about just 7.5 minutes or so left in qualifying 2. I see Zia there has subscribed as well. Thanks to him for that. I just got to check that for a second there. Okay, so I'm going to keep this on with downstairs here for just a bit, as I'll be off for just a minute or so. Be back in just a second there. Alright guys, back on again. Apologies about that. So down to just about under 3.5 minutes left here for qualifying 2. Bit of a change up with the leaderboard as I see so far. So Hella High now fastest in the session, 128.6, puts down to second now at 129.2, and we got Ace up to third. Who put him up there? I'm not even sure. 130.0, and he's up to third. Well, Liam there into fourth, and he's already out of the session at 130.0 as well. Only about a hundredth of a second slower than what Ace did. Patterson down to fifth, 130.1. Of course, a mix of strategies with the tires so far. Liam did his on the mediums, most of them on the softs out front. Cammy there in 6th at 130.1. Lucky in 7th at 130.8. Peter down to 8th at 131.1. Dom Vista down to 9th at 131.2. We got Super C in 10th at 131.3. And Martz there 11th. To be knocked off at 131.6, needs to get a fast time in. It looks like Martz was disqualified from the session for going the wrong way on track. Not sure if that was a glitch or that actually happened there. No, we do have some glitches that tend to happen in this game here as everyone is waiting just about 2 more weeks to go before we do get on to F1 2021 and hopefully avoid all of these issues. And I'm not sure, probably was going wrong way on track, but there are sometimes some issues that do happen just where we're glitch and drivers gets disqualified with that in. But let's see what's gonna happen. But yep, so far 2 drivers left to get some lap times in here, and that's with Scooby and Jonathan there. Not sure why they haven't gotten one as yet. Less than 2 minutes left in Q2 here. Let's see if they're able to actually get that done. Scooby on track right now trying to get it done. Jonathan still in the pits here at the moment. So let's see if he's actually getting out here right now. We do have Scooby getting back in on track into the pit, sorry, and getting off the track. So Jonathan getting out, gonna have his final chance at getting a lap time in before the session closes off here for Q2, and hopefully he's able to get into the top 10 or possibly well into the top 10, hopefully to make it over to qualifying 3. But so far looking good for drivers in the top 10. Let's see where they're gonna be at the end of the session, which is coming up in just less than 2 minutes. So gonna be interesting with this restart, I gotta say, but I'm definitely expecting to see what we got going on for qualifying 3 with lap times. And we got Liam following us there on Twitch as well. Thanks for that, buddy. Appreciating all the support we're getting on Twitch right about now, but please don't forget about subscribing to us on YouTube, guys. I know most of you are probably already subscribed to that there, but if not, please guys, make sure you do that there. We do appreciate the support on both YouTube and Twitch. I know Facebook is kind of limited in terms of that, but I'm just streaming on it either way. Let's see what is gonna happen. And oh, sorry, that was Flynn. So Flynn asking if Ace has crashed as yet. No, I don't think he crashed as yet. He just is out of the session. Not sure if he crashed out of the session or not. I really gotta get Nightbot off of that. I'll probably do that after the stream. Anyway, thanks for the follow there, Flynn, on Twitch. We appreciate that. But I'm not sure if Ace has crashed as yet. I think it's been an ongoing conversation before we even got started with qualifying itself. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the race, or let's see what goes on in qualifying 3, because we were a bit shocked, I think, that he is P3 on the grid here for qualifying 2. But we'll put that just based on tire strategy and whatnot, or maybe something strange happening in Q2. But we'll see what happens here over there in Q3. Well, yep, I had to say he hasn't as yet. I've known him for at least, I think over a year now. I've known Ace, so I usually know how he goes. So let's see what's going to happen. As I said, it's an ongoing conversation. We're still figuring out what's happening with that as yet. But we got a lot of time left. We still got qualifying 3, another 12 minutes of that to get on through. and hopefully see what's going to happen. We're finished here with qualifying 2, by the way, guys. I just noticed that as well. I'll just focus here on the chat for a bit. Alright, so end of qualifying 2, I think that's going to be it. Let's see. We got a few drivers are not going to be in Q3, unfortunately, but still looking forward to see what the lap time is going to be like in Q3. Fastest here was a 128.6. I think qualifying 1, we had a 128.4 as the fastest lap. So let's see what's going to happen in qualifying 3. I want to see what the fastest lap time is going to look like. If you're possibly getting into the 127s, maybe. I'm not sure how possible that's going to be as yet. But we'll see what's going to happen in that case. I don't think anyone else is running on track, is it? I think we're just waiting for Jonathan's car to get into the pits here, and then we should be able to close off this session here and get into Q3. Final 12 minutes of qualifying for the top 10, and see where they're going to be at for the starting positions. That's going to be a bit of a fight for provisional pole for the start of the French Grand Prix here with FSL Esports League Tier 1. Alright, so there we have it. So top 10 getting on in. Looks like Scooby, Jonathan, and March will be out. They're going to start 11, 12, and 13 on the grid. And as we can see, Hella High fastest lap. Dunce their second fastest. Ace third fastest. We're still debating this. Probably have to look into that. Liam there fourth fastest in the session. Patterson in fifth. Gameter 6th. Lucky 7th. Peter 8th. Dom Vista 9th. And Super C there in 10th so far as it is. Both Red Bull 9th and 10th. Not usually where you would like to see them. But let's see what's going to happen. At least AC is representing Mercedes so far, putting them up to third on the grid. I'm not sure where his teammate. I didn't get to have a look where his teammate was on that. I don't think his teammate made it into qualifying 3. So he's doing something right. I'm not sure what's happening though. Yep, Kieran is racing, but he was, I think, knocked out of qualifying 2 it was. So he's starting down at the back of the grid somewhere. Unfortunately, he will not be able to get a better lap. Alright, so here we are in qualifying 3. 12 minutes already started on the clock. We got our top 10 drivers in. Let's see who's going to be getting provisional pole for the start of this race. We know everyone's going to be on the soft tire, so no point really just getting that on screen. Waiting for some of these cars to get out on track. Already got someone out in front, out already. I think that was, I'm trying to figure out who that was. I'm switching on through everyone right about now. And we just leave it at that at this point and see what's happening as we get out on track here for the final portion of the qualifying session. Q3, final 12 minutes. And I think we got, most of our cars are going to be getting out on track. Not wasting time right about now. With just 12 minutes left, they got to get the best possible time in to get, I guess, the best possible start that they can here right about now. Let's see what's going to happen with that. I think we got a mix of quite a few drivers here in the top 10, so definitely looking forward to see what's going to happen with the lap times as we get on through. I'm hoping that we can see maybe a 127 or possibly get as close as we can to that 127 here for a lap time and see where it's going to go. Alright, so we got Flynn giving us some predictions for this race here. I haven't seen a few of the drivers yet in races. I've seen a few of them, Ace being most of it. I've seen him in a lot of races. And yeah, so let's see what's going to happen. So, predictions so far coming off of Flynn. They're saying that Hella is going to be P1, Patterson P2, and Cammy there P3. Let's see if that's actually going to happen. I'm not sure how many of you think that's going to happen here, but let's see what's going to happen in that case. But we still got to ask Flynn the question, where is Ace going to be on the grid at the end of this race? Let's see if he expects possibly a top 10 finish. Not sure. Okay, so I think we got some hot laps getting going here right about now. Let's have a look. We got Liam here on a lap already. Where is he getting through sector? Getting to sector 2 right about now. And Papa Dom says into the pit wall. That's where he will finish. And we're talking about Ace in the meanwhile here. I wonder if he's listening on a stream right about now. Usually he does. We might be breaking his confidence just a bit. Or maybe we're improving it. I'm not sure. He says 10th and 6th, or do you mean 10th and 16th? We're gonna see what's gonna happen in that case. We're counting him out of the race, but we're probably going to be a bit shocked if he does finish at a pretty good position. We'll see what's going to happen in the case either way. I want to see how well the race start is going to go. We got just not too long more time to get around to that. Waiting for some lap times to get on here right now. I think we got all top 10 drivers out on the track right about now. Just to get a lap time. So we should start to see some lap times in here. I think Liam looks like he's going to be the first guy getting a lap time in. I'm quite surprised we haven't seen Ace get on stream and get into this conversation as yet. Alright, so that's Liam at 128.3. Who is coming around next? Look like it's going to be one of the Red Bulls, I think. Alright, so that was Dom Vista 129.9, 128.3 for Liam. We got Hella High goes 129.9 there as well. Only a few hundred per second off. Super C goes 4th. Lucky goes 5th. Waiting to see where our downstar's invalidated his lap there. Unfortunately, we'll have to try that again. Ace back into the pits. Didn't have a good run out there, so gonna have to get her back again and try this. Where's Patterson on track? I think he's getting back in right now as well. And unfortunately, Cammy here invalidated his lap. We'll have to try this once again. Getting back in. So 3 drivers, possibly with not having the best laps out there. Downstairs here. Invalidated his lap, but it's going to try it again on that same set of tires and possibly, hopefully, get a really good lap time in. So far, we're looking just a bit off with it. We got Liam fastest time 128.3. Did expect be around there. Hella High there 129.9. Dom Vista third 129.967, 100 per second off. You got Super C 130.0. 6-1. Lucky there in 5th 130.069, about 8,000 of a second off, and actually pretty close. Then we got Peter 135.6, not the best of laps, so he's gonna have to try possibly to get a better time in if he can. Then we'll see what's gonna happen in that case. So still 4 more drivers left to get some lap times in before we close off qualifying 3 and get on into that race start here for the French Grand Prix. Of course, it's a 50% race. Be about 40-45 minutes of racing. We'll see what's going to happen depending on the safety car issues that we might possibly have, because we got about 18 drivers to deal with. Alright guys, on with Patterson here at the moment, on board actually to see what he is up to. Right now on a outlap boat with Ace and Cammy there as well. I think we're getting around a bit of traffic as he's getting past Ace now, getting a bit going. So Liam still holds on to fastest lap. Looks like Don is out of the session already. And Flynn there hates France for the track limits. I would say the same as well, because track limits here are quite annoying to deal with sometimes. Just depends how hard you're pushing on the track. It is a bit difficult to just avoid invalidating your lap sometimes. You gotta be extremely careful about it. Alright, I think we got Patterson about to get started with this lap here right about now. Let's see where he's going to be at the end of it. So we'll Cammy there. And talk of the stream so far here. We got Ace here getting started with his hot lap right now. Let's go on board at least for the first half of the lap with him. See how the lines that you're taking are right about now. Gotta put some pressure on him and see how he's gonna be dealing with that there. Alright, so he's getting through sector 2 so far. Let's see who he finishes off with this lap and possibly what that lap time is gonna look like at the end of this. And he's naturally gets around to the 130s, I think. Most of it. Possibly a 129 point something if he can get a really good lap in here. I think is where his pace is usually at. So let's see if that's going to be the case with this one. Alright, so Ace gets across the line, goes 129.8, right kind of where we expected him to be, and puts himself up in the P4 in the grid, at least for now with that Cami here. I think about to get across the line. Let's see where he goes on this. We got just under 3 minutes left here for qualifying 3, and lap time looks like a 130.4, not the best that he could get there right about now. So as it stands at the moment, we got Liam still with the fastest lap in. Consider still second fastest, so Liam looking pretty good at provisional pole for the start of the French Grand Prix. Ace down to 4th, Peter down to 5th. We got Hella High in 6th, Dom Vista there 7th, we got Super C there 8th, Lucky there 9th, and Camby there in 10th at the moment. Okay, guys, down to the final 30 seconds here for Q3 so far. I mean, most of everyone just did this on the soft tires, and we're trying to have a look back at the lap time. So Hella High now goes up into second, 128.5, down to third. He's already out of the session. Patterson down to 4th at the moment. On another outlap, possibly trying to improve that time. They're lucky is down to 5th. Ace down to 6th right about now. Peter 7th. We got Don Vista 8th. Super Steel 9th, and Cammy there out in 10th already as it is. And that's the end there of qualifying 3. Let's see who else is still running on track, which is just a few drivers left running here at the moment. I think Don Vista is possibly trying to get a faster lap in if possible. Let's see what's going to happen. And yep, well, for I do have to update the time on night, but there for Twitch, I think, probably for YouTube as well. I probably have to just take the schedule off for now. Update the schedule is in actually an update the schedule is not even in the Discord at the moment. I have to update that as well. Later on this evening, probably we'll get around to that. Okay, so just waiting for everyone to get across the line before we can close off qualifying 3 and then get around over to that race start. Yeah, definitely have to get Nightbot off of the chat as soon as I can. It's kind of hooked in two ways. Someone else do that for now. I think Liam just got a faster time than what he did before. We'll see what's going to happen in that case. I think Peter is the only one left to get across, and there we go. So let's have a look at the qualifying results for the top 10 there for Q3. And I'm not sure if the formation lap is on or off. If it's on, we'll probably have a look back at the starting grid. So Liam, fastest lap in the session, will be starting P1 on the grid there for the French Grand Prix. A pretty interesting lap time, 128.013, gets very close to that 127 we expected. Elhai will start second. Alongside him, we got Dunson starting third. We got Patterson starts fourth. A pretty good position there for him. Super C will start fifth. Dom Vista in sixth. Lucky there seven. Peter in eighth. Ace down to ninth, unfortunately for him. And Cammy there will have to start 10th. We're going to see how well the race start will go with that. But looking pretty good so far. So let's see what's going to happen as we're about to get started with that race in just a bit. Once again, guys, thanks to everyone joining on the stream, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. Please make sure to leave a like on the stream on YouTube and make sure to follow us on Twitch and Facebook as well. I haven't checked if we have any viewers on Facebook, honestly. Alright, so getting started with our formation lap here right about now. Let me just get chat back up so you can see what's happening. Alright, so 19 drivers, it looks like we got a final driver joined on in. That's Rune there. Alright, let's get a few stats on the screen and then we're going to have a look at let's put this on tire so you can see what's going on with that there right about now. So starting grid as it is for all of our 19 drivers in the session, and we can see what the race strategy looks like for the top 10 there as well, with at least 4 of them using the soft tires. The rest are on the mediums, and down at the bottom of the grid we got Aiden on the softs and most of the grid on mediums except for Justy there in 16. So let's have a look at our starting grid. Liam starts in P1 as we mentioned earlier on at the end of qualifying 3. Hella High starts second behind of him. Don will start third on the grid. Patterson fourth, Super C in fifth with the Red Bull. Both Red Bull fifth and sixth, so not too bad with them. Don Vista there in sixth, Lucky there in seven. Peter in eighth. We got Ace starting ninth, and Gary there starts 10, Scooby 11, John will start 12, Martin 13. That is Ace teammate there. Ice 114. We got Aiden starting 15, Justin 16, Kieran Barr in 17, Shankly there 18th, and Rune, our final driver who joined on, didn't go through qualifying sessions, so has to start down there in 19th on the grid. We're just one driver short of a full grid here for the French Grand Prix, and about to get started with that. Hopefully no disconnection issues, hopefully no glitching. We'll see what's going to happen on the race start as we're about to get back sorted on the grid here. We did have some predictions earlier off from Flynn there on the Twitch chat as well as to what our top 3 are going to be looking like. Wonder who's getting driver of the day at the end of this. We'll see what, it kind of just depends on how the race start goes. We'll see what's going to happen in that case. I think we already have the cars about to get just sorted back on the grid right now. I guess I think we're all sorted. I think we're just waiting to see what's gonna happen, if we're gonna get a glitch or not. Alright, let's leave that on position changes and see what's gonna happen in that case there. I'm waiting for those lights to start to go, but it's not. Oh, there we go. And it's starting to go extremely fast right about now. Let's have a look on Liam and Hella High, see what goes on through. Kieran Ball gets a drive through penalty for a jump start. So he jumped the start there. A pretty good start here from Hella High as he's trying to get a go on Liam into turn 1. The leaderboard is a bit mixed up, guys. So let's just ignore that for now. Those two Red Bulls are extremely close off. We got a bit of contact going on in the midfield. We got a racing point off track, and I think that was Rune possibly there. I'm not sure because Peter is a bit up further out in front. So it's getting a bit crazy down in the back of the grid at the moment, or even at the midfield. I'm not even sure where we are here at this point, with the leaderboard getting so crazy at this point. To get Aiden getting up quite a few positions there, and a significant crash off of him. I'm not sure how did he even end up in the barriers all the way down at the side. We got the Williams having contact with someone else down right at the back here somewhere else. I think that should expected that would be a full safety car, but for some reason it's only a virtual safety car so far. I think many expected the first DNF to be ace in the race. Unfortunately, wasn't for them. Where is he at the moment? I'm trying to have a look. He's all the way up in the 8 and running here. Doesn't look like he have any damage either on that Mercedes so far. So running pretty well. So not the best of starts there for quite a few drivers. Let's have a look further up the field and see what we're looking at. So still under the virtual safety car, which is going to be over in just a bit, just to clear off the debris on track. I'm actually quite surprised we caught that accident there with Aiden into the barriers down the side. I think he might have had some contact with someone and just run off into the side of the track. I'm not even sure how he ended up all this way in the side there. And that is Ace with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that's 5 seconds already for him to deal with. I think he might be our second driver with penalties possibly there. I'm not sure. And I got him getting a 3-second penalty for corner cutting here. At the moment, I think we're back racing already as the VSC is over with. We got Patterson getting up into second against Donsitter. Hella High down to 4th on the grid. So lost quite a few positions. Let's switch this back up to tires right about now and see how that's going to go with the rest of the race. Remember, it's a 27-lap race. We're expecting possibly most of these cars to be doing a one-stop strategy for the race, of course, except where the situation comes up with a safety car or not later on in the race. We got Hella High back up to 3rd here right now. Dunsa is down to 4th. He's trying to fight back for that position. Got both Red Bull behind of him. So definitely in some problems here right about now. And I think something just happened to someone because someone just fell way down the grid order there. I think that was possibly Liam having some problems. I'm not sure if he had a spin or not, but doesn't seem like it's going too well. We do have Patterson under some pressure here right now. He's trying to put Hella High on pressure for the lead of the race at the moment. So Liam just fell down all the way down to 15th, and he was way out front there running. Not sure exactly what happened to him, but probably try to have a look at that later on. Rune there working his way up the field right now. Let's switch on down to this racing point with Rune started down in 19th. He's already up into 6th on the grid and chasing after the Red Bull Super C. We got Jonathan and Cammy there 8th and 7th are fighting for that position, and we got the Alfa Romeo coming up alongside him, trying to pull off for that position. Looks like he might have gotten it. So that's Jonathan up to 6, Rune down to 7. Cammy still chasing after them. They are in 8 at the moment. Out in front, we got a few close gaps starting to form just a bit. We'll see how that's going. Hella High still leading the race. Patterson still running 2nd. Dunson still running 3rd as it is right now. That's just changed because Dunson is now down to, where is he? He's had a spin or had contact with someone, I'm not sure, but lost the left end plate of the front wing. So definitely going to suffer some performance here on track, and might have to take a stop very early on to get that taken care of before he gets back out racing here. But I go back out front with Patterson here at the moment, chasing after Hella High there. Does he have damage on that? No, he doesn't have any damage on the car. He's running pretty well so far, keeping up in the Let's get this. I think you guys can see when DRS is being used or not, or when they're using the overtake. So he's well within the DRS range of Hella High's car out in front, and I think he's going to try to keep it there as much as he can. Down Vista there, a bit further down, 2.2 seconds behind, and both Red Bulls running very well, as we can see. But Super C under some pressure from Jonathan there in 5th, as he is definitely trying to get around that Red Bull, but will he be able to do it? Let's have a look on board, see how that's looking right about now, and looks like he's going to push it a long way around, possibly try to switch it back on the inside, and the Red Bull goes a bit wide off track, and possibly takes, I think he took a penalty right there. That's Hella High with the fastest lap so far, 1:33. Let's see if the Red Bull gets a run on a bit of straight going on through, and a bit of minor contact there. And 3-second penalty for Patterson out there in second, as well as Hella High has a penalty as well. So that's going to kind of even them out. We'll see what's going to happen at the end of the race with that situation. But so far so good, as Don Vista is still trying to catch up with Patterson. They're 2.9 seconds. He's gained about 2:10 so far. The Red Bull of Super C having some trouble keeping up with Jonathan out in front of him, who's gained that position and now is chasing after his teammate Don Vista. They're 3/10 behind, 2/10 behind actually. And looks like that might be an overtaking. They're making right about now getting through to this turn. And actually gets it on the inside and gets the position up to third on the grid here, looking to finish in a podium position if he can, and actually got that position up pretty well. Rune here running in 6th, has been running pretty well since the start of this race here as well. We got Don Vista trying to get back around. Not sure if he's going to be able to pull off that move right away, but he's definitely trying to get it done here. Alright, following back with Super C right about now, chasing after Rude. I'm not sure if that's one of the cars he should be chasing after here, but let's see what's happening in that case, because he's pretty close behind. Trying to keep up as much as he can, and hopefully avoids contact as he gets on through. Cam here in the Renault, running behind him, jumping in the fastest lap out front, and he's currently in third, so he's gaining some time, hopefully there for his sake, on Patterson, possibly trying to get into second place. We can see what's happening as the Red Bull makes a bit of a mistake and loses that position to Cam. He goes up into 6th and now chases after Rune, who's 6/10 ahead of him. Has been quite an interesting start with this race so far onwards as we get on through here. Out in front, Rune trying to get ahead of the Red Bull, though, ahead of Don Vista right now. His teammate is all over the track down at the back. I'm not sure if he has some damage on that car. On board with Rune here right about now. Gets alongside that Red Bull and looks like he's going to take that position away from him going on the inside. Actually gets it done before they get to the turn. So that's Rune up to 4th, having a excellent race so far. So he's looking pretty good at getting driver of the day, I would say, on this one here. A lot of support for Cammy here as he is currently running 6th there. And a bit of a switch again between Don Vista and Rune for 4th position in this race. And a bit of a spin. We got contact between Rune and Don Vista, spinning the racing pointer wrong. He's trying to get back going again. I'm not sure if he took any damage on that car. Let's have a look. Actually, it doesn't seem like he took any damage. Just maybe some wheel-to-wheel contact and spun him around. And he's trying to get back going. And Don Vista takes a 3-second penalty off of that, possibly for corner cutting there. Hella High takes another 5-second penalty now for speeding in the pit lane. We got pit stops out front, and Patterson now takes over the lead of the race. Has his penalty there as well. We got quite a few penalties on the grid at the moment, and this earlier on in the race, as we know, track limits have been exceeded quite a lot during qualifying as well. So it does explain a lot. That's what's happening here right about now. Jonathan there 1.4 seconds behind Patterson. Was about 2.3 seconds just on about a lap and a half ago. So he's gaining a lot of time, and definitely is trying to catch up to Patterson as much as he can. Running on the same medium tire strategy here right now. So they're both going to be running a very long stint before getting into the pits, and this is going quite well. He's about to get into DRS range within the next lap, I would assume. But let's have a look at the rest of the grid as we get on through. Both Red Bulls still now running back again, once again behind each other, 4th and 5th on the grid. I think they're trying to work together in some way and trying to keep that going. Mart's here running 6th right about now. His teammate Ace not so well, down in 17th. Not the best possible start there for him. And Rune here, best start that we've seen so far, 1.7 seconds behind. Mart's trying to catch up if he can. We got Cammy there running in 4th right now, just fell along a position behind one of the Red Bulls. Ice One running about 2.6 seconds behind. Rune has Scooby to worry about just behind him within DRS range as well, so needs to be a bit careful about that car behind there. Peter here in the next racing point running there in 10th. Okay, so I'm switching that back down. We had a few pit stops so far in the race. We're going to have a look at the penalties in just a bit. I think Cam is into the pits there as well. Alright, so we got Helahai back out on track here in the McLaren. Running in 11th on the grid so far. So he's taking his pit stop quite early on. I'm trying to figure out back if he was on the soft side at the start of the race or was it on the mediums. I'm not sure, but either way, he's running on fresh medium tires here right about now. So naturally, he plans to pull off another 20 laps on them and take us to the end of the race. We'll see what's going to happen in that case. We got lucky. His teammate running behind of him hasn't taken a stop as yet. And down at the back here, we do have Dunster there trying to get ahead of Shankly, and looks like he actually got that position up. So that's Shankly down to 15th. We got Liam, who has not had a pretty good start. He's all the way down to 16th on the grid. Running on fresh hard tires, about 4 laps old only, and he's probably going to try to go as long in the race as he can with that. Ace here running another 21 seconds behind Liam there in 17th. He's trying to catch up as much as he can. Kieran down to 18th. Aiden unfortunately out from the start of the race. We're going back out in front right now with Jonathan chasing after Patterson here for the lead, and he's within DRS range here right about now as we're getting into lap 8, I think it is. Yep, we just entered into lap 8 of 27. Another 20 laps more or so to go before we get to the end of this race. So Jonathan has been doing pretty well in the race so far. We got Rune and the Red Bull of Dom Vista here switching back positions again, I think, or is that with Super C? Trying to figure out who he's switching positions with right now. That is Super C. They're actually going a bit wide on track, and that's the Racing Point losing. I'm not sure if he has lost traction there, but he is missing a portion of his front wing. He's trying to get back going here right about now, trying to avoid traffic on the track there as well. Now he's all the way down to 11. Cammy coming behind of him, possibly might get past, actually, but the 90 seconds behind would not possibly get past there. Got a yellow flag situation there in sector 1 and 2, I think. Peter here losing a position to Helahai, who gets up into 7th on those fresh medium tires, working pretty well for him as he's going to fight for positions and get back up as much as he can before Patterson and the rest of the grid out front decide to take their pit stop there. So I think that's over. We're going back up in front here with Jonathan in the Alfa Romeo once again, chasing after Patterson, and I think we got a bit of glitch going on our end, possibly maybe with a connection, I'm not sure. Maybe, but let's keep on having a look, see what's happening with this. So 6/10 is what the gap is. I think that's going and coming a bit, might just be stuck on screen there. Let's keep on board right now with Patterson actually and see what's happening in terms of that. Looks like Jonathan is going to take it the long way around the outside and gets the position up, takes away the lead from Patterson. He's down to 2nd once again, and Jonathan finally got into the lead here. Both of these guys running on the exact same strategy. They're 8 laps down on the mediums. I think trying to have a look, where is he? Helahai was on the same strategy. I think he started on the mediums here as well. I'm trying to figure that out. Why he's pitted so early. Might have taken some damage. Maybe, I'm not sure. We got a few more pit stops happening in the race right about now. And let's look at some of these cars are getting onto the hards to get to the end possibly of the race. I'm not sure. Already on lap 9 here. Getting on through, and Patterson only about 3/10 behind Jonathan right now, chasing after him as much as he can. He used quite a lot of overtake actually and doesn't have really much left, only about 12%, and he's using it as much as he can, trying to find a way to get past Jonathan, take back the lead of this race. Having quite a difficult time at that right about now though. As we can see them getting around that parabolic there, and Justy gets another 3-second penalty. Let's have a look at what's going on with penalties so far in this race here, and we can see Patterson has 6 seconds, Don Vista with 3, Super Steve with 6, We do have Hella Hider. 8 seconds of penalties will definitely affect his race. 3 seconds for Scooby there, and 8 seconds for Ice 1, 9 for Jussie, and 6 for Lucky so far. 5 seconds for Ace. I think that's where he was speeding in the pit lane. I don't know if he took a stop there as yet. Actually, no, he didn't think. Actually, I think he took a stop earlier on, but possibly another 5-second penalty, which he took in the race there. So gap starting to go away for Patterson right about now here. Jonathan's starting to extend the lead. He's trying to get him out of the DRS range, and he's just actually gotten to the point where he's done that. And he might just try to keep Patterson right there if possible here right about now, because doesn't want him getting that DRS advantage, and it's going and coming just a bit right about now. So we'll switch on back over to him just while Hella High here chasing after the Red Bulls in front of him. Super C in front at the moment. He's about 5 tenths ahead, and he's still having some trouble catching up. The one thing I've noticed in this race so far is that these Red Bull drivers are definitely helping each other out in some way, because they've kept going just behind each other in this race so far. Doesn't really matter which one of them is running in front of which. And there is the McLaren trying to get ahead, takes it on the inside and gets the position up against Super C. Splits the Red Bull once again. He's back into 4th now, and let's see how much longer he's able to hold on to that position, because out in front, Patterson is now out of DRS range, down by 1.5 seconds. Don Vista running third, another 14.8 seconds behind, now 15 seconds behind, so he's losing time as well. Let's switch this on through to the back of the grid, possibly see what's happening here with Ace right now. I think he just got lapped by Jonathan there, so let's have a look at the 2 cars in front of him. We're on board right now with Ruin here, chasing after Shankly for a 14th position. He took a stop, went onto the hard tires, and possibly to go to the end of the race. I'm not sure. We'll see what that strategy play is going to be like. But we did expect most of these cars to try and do a one-stop strategy in this race. A bit difficult to do just depending on what the situation is. Does seem like it's going to be tried throughout the race going on here. I think we got Don Vista getting in out of the pits here right about now, just in front of the Ferrari of Dunster, and looks like he's going to try to keep it there, but they're going side by side through that turn, and looks like the Red Bull actually keeps the position. Dunster is down to 10th. I don't expect him will be fighting too much with that Red Bull, but it just depends on if he's actually racing him or not. We're going to go back out front a bit here right about now with Scooby chasing after the next Red Bull here of Super C, trying to get alongside him and possibly get that position on the inside. I think a bit of contact though as he spins around. No damage to the car, but he's going to get back going here, and lost quite a few positions there, risking that. I think he might have had a bit of contact with the Red Bull that caused that spin to happen. That might be looked into at the end of the race. We'll see what's going to happen in that case. We're going to go back down to Ruin in 14th. He's gained quite a lot of ground at the start of this race. Took a stop though, and is down to 14th on the grid right now. Looks like we'll be approaching the halfway point of the race here very soon as well. Already into lap 12, and we still got quite a few more penalties happening. A few more drivers into the pits there as well. Out in front, we got Jonathan now leading by 4.5 seconds here against Patterson down there in second. Another 18.3 seconds behind. We do have Hella Hider chasing after them. Of course, he's looking to get back into the lead when these two decide to take a pit stop here, but a bit of a gap between him and Jonathan there, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get Jonathan during the pit stops here, because Jonathan has done 11 laps on his medium tires from the start of the race to this point. Hasn't taken a stop as yet, and looks like it's just going to be a one-stop strategy for him. We'll see how much he's going to be pushing on those tires to see where he gets at the end of this. Already got Peter on the soft tires. The first soft tires getting on through. So I think the race has gone to a pretty good position from the start to this point. Only lost one driver from the start on the opening lap. We're on board right about now with Donster here in 8th, chasing after Don Vista in the Red Bull. much in that gap is staying a bit constant, about 5/10 right about now. See what's happening out front. We do have Jonathan taking a stop, and he's back out on track right about now, running just a tenth behind, less than a tenth. He's about to get past the McLaren of High right now to take back second place in the race. So I guess he came back out in third, with 13 seconds behind him and Cammy down there in fourth, and he's on fresh hards. Definitely going to push all the way to the end of the race here, and let's see how that actually goes, using overtake and DRS advantage, and gets ahead of the McLaren, goes up into second, has another 15.3 seconds, 15.2 seconds right now, actually now 15 seconds. It's going down by the 10th for a second here as we're going on through this race. Alright, so let's call it about 15 seconds right now to Patterson out in front of him, who has to take his pit stop in this race as well, at least in next lap or two. Maybe he'll probably be taking a stop. We'll see what's going to happen with that, but at the moment as it is, he's now 14 seconds ahead, and I really don't think that's enough time for Patterson to take a pit stop and get back out in front of Jonathan here. I don't think that strategy is going to work. He's going to have to get back into second and possibly third, because looks like High is only a second behind Jonathan right now. He's trying to keep up there as much as he can. And looks like we got High back into the pits. Might be his final pit stop here, and let's see what the strategy is going to be. What is he going on right about now? It looks like he's serving a 5-second stop-go penalty, and now the guys are working on the car, getting him. Looks like he's getting on a fresh set of mediums to go to the end of the race. Possibly, I guess he started on the softs, and I'm not sure. Alright, so let's switch this back out front, see what's happening here, because Jonathan is now only 10.8 seconds behind Patterson, who's leading the race out front, and looks like he's going to be losing that lead once he takes a pit stop here. Jonathan, of course, having 0 penalties here at the moment. Cammy, no penalties as well, running there in third, looking pretty good at getting possibly second, but it looks like he might have to take a stop there as well. Only 7 laps done on those mediums. Will possibly have to take a stop and go on to another set of tires before closing off the race. Dunster running 4th, Dom Vista running 5th, and looks like he's going to the end of the race on his set of tires that he currently has on. But looks like Dunster will have to take a stop there as well. Let's have a look. We just had a switch here with Scooby and Martz there in the Ferrari and Mercedes so far. And Jonathan gets the fastest lap in the race, and he's running on hard tires taken into account here right now. Patterson now only 7.7 seconds actually ahead. We're going to have a look at that overtake as it's going to happen in just a bit. And looks like I think this might be why Patterson is holding out on those tires out in front, because it looks like we got some rain coming down right about now. I did notice it was getting a bit cloudy on track, but I really didn't expect any rain to be in the race here. We're on lap 15 right about now. We got just about 12.5 laps to finish off this race, and we got some rain coming down right about now. Of course, not as yet ready to switch on over to the intermediates, but it might just be in a lap or two time. Just depends on how fast the rain comes on down here. The Red Bull of Super C is trying to get past that Ferrari once again. A bit of contact between them. Definitely, I think that Red Bull lost possibly some portions of his front wing, and is now spinning around. Just went on the power too much there to get back going. That was actually quite a lot of contact. I'm not sure if either of those cars took any damage. Looks like High is out of the race. I'm not even sure what happened with that there. Did he have a problem getting around with a pit lane? I'm not sure. But something definitely happened to High. The DRS is now offline, which means possibly time to switch on over to the intermediates, as the rain seems to be coming down quite a bit here, or maybe in a lap or two time. We'll see how much grip is there on track, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of grip on track right now with those running on the soft tires. As we said, you have to definitely look at Patterson and Jonathan already on the intermediates getting back out here, as as soon as race control takes DRS offline, you definitely know it's time to get onto those intermediate tires and get out on track. Just a bit of indication. Actually, we just sort of noticed most of the races. As soon as DRS goes offline, it's usually time to get onto the intermediate tires. So we're possibly going to have some rain going down to the end of the race. We also got Dom Vista out of the race there as well. So that's 3 drivers out so far. As we can see, Patterson drifting a bit in the rain, getting around Jonathan, possibly getting past him here. And gets around on the outside, gets back into the lead. This is going to be a bit interesting now to see which of these drivers are actually pretty good at driving in the wet, as this track has gotten pretty slippery, so they're going to have to be just a bit careful getting around the turns and how fast they actually get back on the power of the car just to push on through. They're going to have to be just very, very careful with the throttle here just to avoid spinning the cars around. Looks like Patterson is still trying to get past Jonathan here right now, but Jonathan having some trouble out front as well. Sliding around. We're on lap 16 at the moment, 11.5 laps left to go. Looks like Shankly is still on the mediums there. Kieran Barr still on the softs. I'm not sure. Do they expect the rain to go away? I'm not sure, but there's, it looks like they're possibly getting into the pits right about now to switch on over. Hey Williams, thanks for joining on the stream. I think Shankly is into the pits right now, so is Kieran there now switching on over. Looks like Lucky is out of the race as well. So the race has not been too well for us in the rain here. It's 3 drivers lost since it's actually started to rain. Unfortunate, but we're gonna have to just go on through with that. That of course means that Ace moves up into 15th on the grid though. He is quite a way back though. I'm quite surprised he hasn't retired off the session. But he's still pushing on through for a position. Never know, a lot of drivers in front of him will possibly retire from the session, and that's going to mean he's going to be finishing possibly in the top 10 if that actually does end up happening. We'll see what that case is going to be. But the rain has come down quite a bit, and Jonathan getting away from Patterson just a bit. Remember, we don't have any DRS assistance here. They do have that overtake to use, but it's almost useless during these conditions on track. Getting on here with Rune again. Alright, so he's chasing after Jussie in the Renault, trying to get up that position. As you can see, the viewpoint on the driver's end right now, it's actually very difficult to see clearly as you get closer and closer behind the car just because of the spray coming off. So they gotta really know the tracks here and know their braking point as they get around. They still do have to avoid invalidating laps here. Jonathan looks like he got a penalty out front as well. We're going to have a look and see what the penalty situation is in another 5 laps time or so to see how that's going to affect track positions as these guys finish off the race. But as it is, Jonathan leads the French Grand Prix at the moment in a wet session going to the end, I assume here. Patterson in second. We got Cammy running third. Dunster running fourth. And Liam currently back up to fifth. Peter running sixth. Got Ice 1 in 7, Justy there 8, Rune in 9th, and Scooby there 10th. Superstein and Red Bull down to 11th. His teammate out of course right now. Mart still running 12. Both Mercedes out of the top 10. Kieran running 13, Shankly in 14, and Ace down in 15th right now. Hey Skytime, thanks for joining on the chat. Just trying to have a look, see what's going on streams in. I think we're good either way on, but so far. Alright, so it's quite an interesting change I just noticed here as well. Justy getting onto the wet tires there and getting back out on track. I basically agree with him as well. Let's see how that's working. Has the rain actually come down that much that they actually need the full wet tires here right now? And he seems to be having some trouble keeping that car steady there. Let's see how the rest of the drivers are getting on through right about now. Of course, it's going to be very difficult for grip, but is it raining a bit more on some portions of the track here? I'm not sure. Trying to have a look at that here right about now, see how much grip these guys are having here at the moment. But conditions on track are getting just a bit out of control for drivers to keep these cars as stable as they expect, but Justin taking the chance, going onto the full wets, and looks like he's retired after the session, and that's a virtual safety car. I don't think he's actually retired. He might have crashed that car out somewhere, and I think that might have happened there in sector 2, which we're about to come to in just a bit. We might just be able to have a look, and there's his car just further out on track there. And yep, didn't have much luck with those full wet tires, so not ready for that on track as yet. And that's going to be a virtual safety car for just a bit. Surprisingly enough, no safety cars during this session so far. I think this probably is our second VSC getting through the race, which is not too bad. Of course, we lost 4 drivers going on through, 1 at the start, 3 during the start of the rain, and now just another one. That's 4. Another, so a total of 5 drivers gone. Still 14 to finish off the race so far, so Ace is now up into 14th on the grid. For those of us keeping count, see where he's going to finish. We need another 4 drivers to DNF for him to possibly finish P10 and get a point here. See that's going to happen before the end. We got approximately about 6.5 laps remaining before the end of the race. So let's see what we got going on through. Patterson here running second, still behind Jonathan. 3.9 seconds is what the gap is, though, so he's lost some time. And just not able to keep up. Cammy there, of course, 26.7 seconds behind. So Jonathan and Patterson running P1 and P2 are running pretty well out front. And have quite a bit of gap to work with. They can actually take a free pit stop here. Okay, so into lap 20 right about now, getting very close to the end of the race, about the final 7 to 7.5 laps that we have remaining right about now to close this race out. Going back down to Liam here, chasing after Dunster there in 4th. Not sure how well that's going for him, but trying to have a look at that here right now. I think it's possibly our closest gap. Actually, we got a closer gap with Rune and Ice 1 for P7 at the moment as well. I think that's kind of going and coming as well, so we'll see where that's going to go in just a bit. That's the thing that's kind of gone away from us. So 14 drivers remain out of 19 here at the moment for the French GP, and has gone pretty well from the start to this point. Has quite some interesting accidents at the start of this race as well, which kind of led to Aiden being DNF out of the race, unfortunately. Every other driver I think we just lost just because of the wet session that we got going on here right now. We got a close gap with Liam and Dunster here right now, still chasing after each other, possibly trying to gain a position before the end of the race. Of course, Liam has no penalties, neither does Peter behind of him. Of course, he's 17 seconds behind, so no worries about that. With Liam there, he might be able to gain a position or 2 here, because actually might just be able to gain a position. Or maybe actually 2, because Dunster is about 8 tenths behind him. Let's have a look. And actually 3 tenths in front of him. And then Cammy another 9 tenths in front of that. So he might be able to gain 2 free positions here and possibly finish on the podium of this race. So as we're into lap 21, let's have a look back at the penalties as it is. So as it is right now, Jonathan with 8 seconds of penalties, Patterson with 14 seconds, and he has a 27.7 second gap to Cammy down behind. So that means he is going to be able to keep second place, as will Jonathan be able to keep P1. Cammy there in P3 at the moment. Of course, has 2 cars behind of him. He has an 8-second penalty. We got done so with a 7-10 gap, less than a second, and not less than a second. We do have Liam in 5th, so this is going to be interesting on how this works out. Being where the gap is, still has about 2 seconds to work with there done stuff in order to get into P3, and then we have Liam. Has about another 3 seconds to work with, so he might be able to. It's going to be a difficult call right about now between Cammy, Dunsa, and Liam for P3 finishing off for this race. We'll see what's going to happen with it. It just depends on what the gaps are going to be like. It's going to be between Dunsa and Liam possibly here for that final podium positions. We'll see what's going to happen with that. That's a bit of a switch right now. Liam gets into P4 and puts the Ferrari down to 5th. And they're chasing after Cammy there in 3rd. Let's see if he's able to hold on to that position. Looks like he might possibly be able to get across the line P3 if he holds on to it right about now. But that gap is extremely close. So we'll see where that's going to be as we get further down to the end of the session here. Trying to have a look and see if the rain is easing up at any point, and doesn't look like it's going to be going away anytime soon. We got just about 5 laps remaining here right now. As you can see, that viewpoint is still quite difficult to work with, being that close to Cammy's car there. Of course, Dancer there, he is just behind here, running there as well. Just noticing as well that Rune has actually broken back down his gap. He's back down by about 3/10 behind Ice 1 right about now. Of course, the penalty situation still comes into play. Peter right now is the only driver there in P6 without a penalty in this race. And hopefully he's able to keep it that way going all the way to the end. Because that might possibly be able to get in a position, but with an 18-second gap behind it out, it might actually benefit him in any way there. Just depends on what the penalty situation is out front, but I don't think it's that much as we had a look early on. Definitely not that much as it's going to hold everyone else up and possibly put him up a position here. He's going to finish right there in P6. Of course, has a car about 6 seconds behind of him, but won't be losing any positions since these guys are the ones with penalties right about now. So still a 3:10 gap between Liam and Cammy here for P3. And that penalty situation definitely is going to affect how things turn out at the end of the race here. We'll have to see how that's going to work out. As Liam definitely chasing after Cammy right now to possibly try and get himself up into that position there. Okay, so lap 24 so far. We're getting very close to the end. Let's have a look on what's happening out front. So Jonathan still leads by about 11.2 seconds. I'm not sure where he's pulled up that distance from, but Patterson down by that time, and he's still running second, of course, with his penalties as well. We'll still hold him off into second at the end of the race, fortunately for him. So he still will be able to keep that position. Liam here running in third now. Looks like he might be able to keep that position there as it is. We're going to have a look back at the penalties in just a bit and see what that's going to be like for him, because now Dunst is down to fourth, Cammy now down to fifth, and Peter running sixth with no penalties, 20 seconds behind, 8-10 gap right about now between Cammy and Dunst. So see if these two are going to be switching back positions anytime soon or not. And Ace has retired from the race there on lap 24. No one called that one out. And now we're down to 13 drivers. And we got Patterson retiring as well. What's happening out front? I think we got a virtual safety car for that incident. Whatever is happening out front, I'm not sure. Trying to have a look at that here right now. And I think he might have gone off somewhere on track and possibly cost himself the race here and a podium position. I'm trying to have a look if we can from Liam's car here. As soon as he gets around the turn, he should be on the right side somewhere. And there's his car down the side of the track. I think he might have lost control of the car and put it into the wall there. Unfortunately for Patterson, he's out of the race. That's cost him a position on the podium here this evening with that, because he was getting quite an easy podium position. And now that is ruined as well, out of the race. Two drivers out within the last lap here. So we can have a look on Scooby's car. Where is he at the moment? I'm not even sure. There's his car on track. Not sure what happened to his car. They might have just lost it going down that straight and ended up into the barriers down the side and left the car parked at the middle of the track there. And I think our VSC is now over. Another two drivers out. That leaves us possibly about 12 drivers in the race here right now. Will do, Ace. I'll message you after the race, no problem. As we're coming down to the end of that in about another 2 laps or so. So let's see, lap 25. Jonathan now still leads the race, and oh, Hella is now subscribed to YouTube. Thanks a lot for that. So Jonathan now leads still, continues on through with that. Let's switch on over to penalties as we're getting right down to the end of the race right about here. So let's have a look, see where we're going with that. So Jonathan still leads. Looks like he might be finishing on the podium if he doesn't crash out. Liam here running in second right now. He's 38 seconds behind, but of course 6-second penalty is still going to keep him there, because Dunst down in third has a 9-second penalty and just about a second behind. So not too bad with that. Either way, it looks like they're keeping their position as it is. Cammy there running fourth. Looks like he might actually keep his position as well. It's a 1-second difference in the penalties between the two of them. So I want to see where that's going to go at the end of this. We're into lap 26 already. Peter running another 21 seconds behind. Of course, he doesn't have any penalties, but because of his gap, will not be able to gain a position there. And but he's running pretty well, not having any penalties in the race. Still got to give it to him for that. Then we got Ice one here running in 8.3 seconds right now behind Peter there. 9 seconds of penalties. Scooby there behind even 24 seconds of penalties. So Ice one will keep it position. Scooby there as Super C there having another 24 seconds of penalties. Getting close to that point of getting disqualified from the race for having too many penalties there right about now. 12.3 second gap. And going down to Martz here, he is in 9th with a 3-second penalty right about now. 8.3 second gap, will have to finish right there as well. Kieran here running about a minute behind in 10th. 10 seconds of penalties, will finish right there as well. And looks like Shankly will move up into 11th on the grid. If one more driver falls out of this race, that means he's going to finish 10th and gets a point here as well. Let's go back up to out front and see what's happening here. Dunst still chasing after Liam, with Cammy chasing after him, so trying to keep an eye on that as it goes on through. We'll be entering into the final lap of this race very shortly to finish this off, and just about half of the grid is what is going to finish this race. I think the rain has definitely caused all of this to happen, because we only had one driver out until we started to have that rain come on down, and then just pushed most of our drivers into positions where they just ended up just DNFing the session, as conditions just became maybe just a little bit too difficult for some of our drivers here on track. Of course, it is a bit difficult driving in the wet as well, so I think that's kind of what affected everything throughout that. So into the final lap where the race leaders out front there right now, trying to have a look and see what's happening in the midfield in the meanwhile as we get on through this. Let's go back around here. Let's have a look where Jonathan is on track. So he's running in sector 2 at the moment. We got Liam now getting across the line into the final lap. Still 39 seconds behind. And looks like the track has actually dried back up right about now. And on the very final lap, so it looks like the drivers are going to have to hold off on these tires to go all the way to the end, because absolutely no chance of taking a pit stop right about now to change off. So I think this kind of affected a lot of things coming to the end of the race, where the track started to dry out. The rain went away very quickly and dried out the track very quickly here, and I think that might have caused a bit of a... We've probably been involved with the incident that we have happened in the race there. We got Jonathan here getting around the final turn right about now, about to get back onto the pit straight, and he's driven quite an interesting race. I'm not sure who's getting driver of the day, but we got him at least getting across the line right about now and finishes P1. Takes the win for the French Grand Prix here for FSL Esports Tier 1, and that was round 10, so not a bad finish for him, with a 38-second gap to Liam there in second. Still getting around sector 3 here with the rest of the grid behind him, so waiting for that to get on through. Looks like Shankly finished there in 11. Mart's already across the line in 9th. We'll have Kieran will finish there in 10th. And we're trying to wait for the rest of the grid to get across the line before we see who's going to be getting driver today on this one. I don't want to switch the things up, anything up as yet, or just have a look at that at the end. So Liam goes across the line, takes second place on the podium just behind Jonathan there. Not a bad finish for him. Downster coming behind that, taking third. And that's our top 3 finish. Cammy there is going to get across the line, finishes 4th. Peter here, no penalties in the race, and let's see if he can finish another 2 turns getting on through. Looks like he's going to go across the line, take 5th with 0 penalties. The only driver to have no penalties in the race and gets across the line with that P5 for him. So you have Scooby there is going to get across the line to take P6. Super Steve here will take P7. And a bit of a switcher because Ice One only has 9 seconds of penalties. And he gets across here right about now. So let's see how that works on out here. So that moves Ice One up to 6 and Scooby down behind of him, just because of how that penalty situation was. We'll have one last look at the preliminary results before getting off the session here. And looks like Jonathan gets driver of the day and takes the win for that race there as well. So not a bad evening for him of racing. Okay, so result for the French Grand Prix FSL Esports Tier 1 round 10. So Jonathan takes the win for the French Grand Prix, gets the fastest lap and gets driver of the day. We got Liam finishing in 2nd on the podium. We got Dunsa finishing 3rd on that one there. Not a bad finish for the top 3. Camry finishes 4th. Unfortunately, Peter goes up to 5th here. Ice One takes 6th away from Scooby and Super Steve, who's down to 7th and 8th. Mart's there in 9th. Kieran finishes 10th. Shankly there 11th. Patterson and the rest of the grid unfortunately not able to finish the race there. Rune down there in 13, Ace down 14, Justy down 15, Lucky down 16, 17 for Vista and Hellhigh in 18. Aiden, first driver who was out of the race, down there in 19. So quite an interesting race session from the guys there. Hopefully we'll see what they can do next week again, and possibly we'll have a look at the tier 2 on Thursday there. We did get set up for that. So once again, thanks to everyone who joined on to the stream on Twitch, YouTube and Facebook to watch the race there. And make sure you guys leave a like on the YouTube video, and please make sure you follow us on Twitch and Facebook as well. And I'll see you guys on the next stream, which we have coming up tomorrow. We got 2 streams tomorrow actually, so we're scheduled for 2, so let's see how that goes on tomorrow. I'll see you guys then.